Next, an old industrial complex gets a new life. Then, a shopping center with an unusual attraction. And later, how endangered buildings in Columbus get saved.
Support for Columbus Neighborhoods is provided by American Electric Power is proud to sponsor WOSU Public Media Columbus Neighborhoods. Working together with our communities, we're committed to powering a bright, boundless future for us all.
At Ohio Health, we believe it's important to have a healthy understanding of the world around you. That's why we're proud sponsors of WOSU Public Media and their work to educate, entertain, and inspire the people we serve.
Bailey Cavalieri, your relationship with your law firm doesn't need to be complicated, it just needs to be right. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
You know those shows that give the before and after? Well, this is that show for Columbus Neighborhoods. We're checking back in with a few of the places we visited in the past to find out where they are now. In this first story, we head to an industrial space on the south side, which became home to two long-standing companies, one working in fire and the other working in fabric.
What I know about Seagrave is that they start in a little suburb, a little town outside of Detroit. And Frederick Seagrave makes ladders that are used by apple pickers, and they're so strong that fire companies start to order them. But it will be 10 years before they come to Columbus. Then he is in a little part of Lane Avenue, which the town takes the name of Seagrave, and you can actually still see that it's there. They moved to the south side because, well, the location explains a lot. Where are they located on this map?
Right just below the city line.
Right, so they were able to avoid city taxes, like a lot of manufacturing on the south side.
Some things never change.
They're here on High Street, and then all of this will start to come in with Buckeye steel and castings.
Seagraves essentially moved here in 1892 and began building horse-drawn fire wagons at the time.
Everything was done here, all the hand detailing and painting, everything.
Our understanding was that everything was done here. You know, you can envision it when you get a sense of how big the complex is and how many spaces there are.
And it's really kind of neat because from the courtyard's perspective, there was a rail siding on the north side of this building where we stand, and there was a dock over there. And so the fire engines were made here, they were rolled out to that dock and then put on rail cars and hauled away. The author here notes is that the plant on High Street made more components for its vehicles than anyone since Ford and his Model T. Ladders, hoods, frames, grills, pumps, and engines were just the start, all made here at this location with a pre-depression level of 350 employees.
From this picture, it looks like they're assembling engines. So it looks like they're going from having the engine actually in the space, mounting it on the chassis, and then putting the body on over that.
It's interesting that the south side becomes not just their home, but it is so well remembered by people who pass this building. They can identify it even though the company's been gone since the 60s.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I would love to see more if we get a chance to walk around.
Sure.
Be great.
Okay.
Sure. Doreen, here's an example of some pieces that we make. These ultimately end up in a retail environment. This is the bones, woodworking done over there, comes over here to be upholstered.
We do a fair amount of custom work too. There's a piece over there that'll eventually be a seating booth for a local establishment.
How did it all begin?
My father-in-law and his father started the business basically in a garage. It was their story. It was a chicken coop, but you know, it was a small building that they started. His dad was a deaf mute, and so my father-in-law, he's 86 now, so at 15, he was the face and voice of the business. He would literally knock on doors with sample books and say, you know, do you need any upholstering? And it was much different then. I mean, people bought furniture thinking they were going to have that furniture for a long time. So reupholstering was a natural process. It was less expensive than new. That changed a bit as furniture became less and less built for the long term, and of course cost less at that point. Our history was just residential upholstering. We worked for a lot of the local designers. We did their upholstering. Started getting into commercial upholstering 25 years ago maybe. And then when Justin joined the business, that was the kind of the aha moment to say, this is another avenue for us, this commercial side of upholstering. And that's really helped us to balance the ups and the downs of both those businesses.
We're bigger than the average upholstery shop is usually just a couple of guys,
Right.
you know, doing a few $100,000 worth of work. So we're much larger than that. We're at 45 people now.
So this has got to be the most humongous building I've ever seen in Columbus. How much square footage do you have in this space?
Well, like with old buildings, you get multiple. We've had 3 different estimations, anywhere
Okay.
from 209,000 square feet to 242,000 square feet.
Okay.
We knew a little bit that we'd be getting into a project when we moved in, and had some priorities when we first moved in. Like the space that we're in now is the original portion of the whole complex. It has these neat tin ceilings, which we felt really added a great amount of character to the space. But we added LED lighting. We replaced windows, so we have a lot of natural light, which we really haven't had in our other location. And those were exciting things, big bang for your buck. And then we spent a lot of money on the roof that you know, had old tar and several different iterations of roofing styles over the past 130 years.
I'll follow you, gentlemen. Okay.
Okay. So of course, in this building, there's a lot of stuff that we'll never really use. Some of this is set up for some of the large equipment that they had in here originally.
Well, the nice thing about working in a former fire apparatus company is there's fire doors
So these are fire doors, huh?
every 20 steps.
So from here, you've got a great view of the courtyard.
Oh, yeah.
You can see.
Part of the old sign?
And we do wish these walls could talk.
As the trains speed up and slow down, there's a lot of crashing and banging and booming. So the first few times it happened, everybody in the shop would just stop and look, but now they don't even hear it anymore.
Do you know what was done in this space before when Seagrave was here?
We believe this space was where they put together a lot of the woodworking that went up. You don't realize how much wood was on one of those old wagons, but the seating was basically wood, the wheels, the ladders.
It's kind of nice the way the viaduct is just passing by the second story, and it adds a charm to it.
Yeah.
What creative things are going to happen here?
How much time do you have?
Yeah. We've talked to several folks. There's a collective of young ladies who work on designing and making their own clothing. And so they're looking for 10,000 square feet and love this area with the natural light. We have talked to distilleries making rum, making beer. It kind of lends itself well to that in a lot of different ways. There's these old elevator shafts that can accommodate you know, tall equipment like that. You know, this whole second floor is 30,000 square feet, and so we could envision it being a co-working space. You know, it's kind of open with all the natural light coming in. It could be an event space, a really nice open event space. You've got a view of the south side of downtown from there.
So what do you think you'll be doing next now that you've got the building well in hand?
Together, we look to continue to grow. You know, we have the space now in this area, and you look back at the history of Seagraves and how they expanded in here. We'd love to mimic that story and continue to grow and add some jobs to the south side here in Columbus. And again, you know, bring in some other new folks and new neighbors into the rest of the building to complement what we're doing, or just be fun, good neighbors. So the sky's the limit, really.
There's a lot that's changed in the Seagrave and Fortner building complex since we first aired that story. We're checking back in with them to see what's new.
In 2 years, it feels like it flew by. What has been neat is to see the ecosystem that's developed of small businesses in this community that we have here. So we have 40 tenants that have come in since we bought the building in June of 2017. A wide variety. We have makers, we have artists, we have a lot of folks in the digital world. as all these young companies have come in, and it's a testament to the entrepreneurial and pioneering spirit of the companies here in Columbus, because these people come in and go, yeah, we will take this on, we'll join this journey with you. And it's really created this community that's evolved into more than what we anticipated and more than what we could really envision. My dream is to see more activities come down here, so restaurants, coffee shop, but a retail component too. So we have all these companies making things, and we envision what we call Steelton Market as a shared retail space for all the different companies in here making products to work together to bring those to the market in Columbus.
Shopping used to be an event, a spectacle for the whole family, and that's what made it fun. And sometimes there were elaborate displays to draw people in. The Great Western Shopping Mart on the west side was no exception, actually recreating the wonders of the world. Here's more about its development, but make sure to stay tuned afterwards for an additional story on the artist behind the Walk of Wonders.
Can you imagine having the 7 wonders of the world all in one place, right in the middle of a shopping center in Columbus, Ohio?
Both my father and grandfather sought to develop a large shopping center on the west side of town. The site they had originally chosen for the development was the site now occupied by Westland. At the last minute, that joint venture fell apart.
So they were looking for a site. They found a site that my uncle happened to own, and they bought it from him.
The problem was that the original site was actually a little bit better site. And it became important to convince the anchor tenants, JCPenney, Gray Drugstore, they'd already committed to the other site, to relocate to the new site.
So he threw this elaborate party and invited all of the tenants. And as the party went on and on and on, Don, I understand, got more and more into the party, and they said, Don, why should we come to this site instead of the other site?
And he told the tenants that if they would relocate, he would build a complete replica of the wonders of the world. And he wasn't that much of a drinking man, but he may have had a few cocktails, and whatever it was, he sort of got ahead of himself a little bit in terms of promoting what he would do to encourage them to go to the new site.
And people had signed up. They had agreed to come. So they had to produce. They had to live up to what he'd said and produce the 7 wonders of the world.
And being a man of his word, he sought to develop the Walk of Wonders.
So they went out and they picked their own 7 wonders of the world, and the wonders of the world cost as much as the shopping center itself to build. This was a really gutsy move. And when you double the cost of building a center, then to try to make the economics work out on it, Walk of Wonders really had to generate a tremendous amount of traffic. Great Western Shopping Center opened up in the summer of 1955. They had invited everybody to this opening. There were county commissioners, there were tenants, there were officials from the city. They also invited a lady from India to stand next to the Taj Mahal. They had Mayor Sensenbrenner throwing a barrel over Niagara Falls. It was quite a stage production.
These were not shabby, cheesy replications. They were very carefully crafted copies of the originals.
The wonders that were there were the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Niagara Falls, both the Canadian side and the American side. They had the Taj Mahal and the fountains in front of it.
If you look at this photograph, you don't know you're not looking at the real Taj Mahal.
They had the Grand Canyon.
They actually constructed a walkway above Grand Canyon, so you could look down into it. You could see the city and the hotels around Grand Canyon. You could see the water flowing.
The Eiffel Tower, which I still have at my house. They had the pyramids and the Sphinx.
When you look at this photograph, I thought, well, no, that's the real thing. And it isn't. That's a photograph taken from ground level looking at the Walk of Wonders. This Parthenon looks a lot better than the one in Greece, I think, which has seen better times. You can see that this isn't just the building of the Parthenon. This is all the ancillary buildings and the other temples that are on the Acropolis.
And underneath the Acropolis and the Parthenon, you could look in a window and they had Carlsbad Caverns. They had bats hanging down and they had little fans that blow the bats around a little bit and make them swing. They had built a replica of the Trevi Fountain. A lot of coins went in there, and they would give all of that money to charity. You got to remember, this is 1954-55. This is before Disneyland opened up. So there was no place quite like this that had replicas and things like that. This is right at the time of the 707. So at this time, if they wanted to go to Europe and see any of this stuff, it was by steamship.
As a school child, I was 7 or 8 years old, and I remember school buses full of children would take day trips to visit this. It was truly a wonderful educational asset to the Columbus community.
It became, at night, a real security problem and a hazard because of people climbing all over it.
As the years went by, it deteriorated. The Ohio State fraternity boys would show up and they would pour detergent in Niagara Falls, and that constantly caused the need to maintain it.
I think it lasted almost 10 years. This was absolutely one of a kind. I've never heard of anything like it before or after, and this was really unique.
We often have people reach out after a story airs to give us more information on other people who were involved in certain projects. After the Walk of Wonders segment aired, the family of the artist behind the creation of the Wonders came forward, and we just had to find out more about him.
My dad, my brother Bob, and myself, we worked on the Walk of Wonders. My dad's name was Ivan Pusiker. He was a designer in charge of the construction of the Walk of Wonders. He was a great sculptor, a great painter, artist. He did the Trevi Fountain, Leaning Tower of Pisa, Parthenon. They would have used clay, making a vacuum mold and almost like a rubber mold. And then they would cast that. Mostly he worked in like a concrete, but it wasn't. It was refined concrete. And that's what they used on the materials for the Walk of Wonders. Then I got hired by Dad. My job was working on the Niagara Falls, and I had to build the little buildings up above. It was a big project. I would look at these things and just was amazed at how they could do this. And the thing is, with Dad, he just do it. I mean, he didn't make a production out of nothing. He just did it.
Every year, Columbus Landmarks compiles a list of the 10 most endangered historic buildings in the city. On a previous show, architectural historian Jeff Darby visited with Becky West of Columbus Landmarks to talk about the list. Here's that story again. But make sure to stick around afterwards because we'll have an update on what's happened to those buildings since.
I'm a founding member of the Columbus Landmarks Foundation way back in 1977, and today we're on the east side of Columbus with Becky West, director of Columbus Landmarks. And you have something called the Endangered Buildings List, is that correct?
That's right. Back in 2014, we published our first list of most endangered buildings, and we did this because our advocacy committee has been working, as you know, since 1977 behind the scenes to quietly advocate for, and sometimes vocally, these buildings that are threatened with either long-term vacancy, deterioration, and now sometimes redevelopment.
You're raising awareness, you're trying to start a conversation, hoping to find solutions to keep these buildings from disappearing from the landscape.
That's exactly right.
We're visiting one of the endangered buildings, which is the former Holy Rosary Church, a Catholic church built in 1916. It's part of a complex of buildings on East Main Street. A wonderful piece of architecture, but with a somewhat clouded future, I guess you'd say. And we're going to stop and have a look at how things look at this site today. So this building was the school, the high school, is that right?
That's correct.
And it was built when?
Well, this is the newest of the buildings that we'll see today, and this was built in 1928, and it was used as Holy Rosary Catholic High School until I think the mid-1960s. And then we have this incredible, magnificent church building.
It was built when?
1916.
Okay. Boy, it is a gorgeous building with the tower.
It's just magnificent, isn't it?
You really, yeah, you have to stand and see it from a distance. Now, what was the inspiration for the design?
So it's built in the Northern Italianate style, and then they must have loved it so much that they built the high school building to complement that style.
Well, it really is. That's right. It really looks very similar in the design.
The interior of the church is much more ornate, though. It's not in the same style.
You'd say it's more a traditional design
It is.
in terms of sort of church architecture?
Yes.
And when was it last used? When was the church last used by its original congregation?
By its original congregation in the 1980s, I believe. And Rock of Faith Baptist Church has owned the whole campus ever since that time.
Okay, so that organization took it over right away and continued its use as a church. So it's never really been empty or abandoned.
It hasn't.
Some of the buildings that are associated with it don't have uses right now.
That's correct.
Okay.
We're thinking about that in terms of redevelopment. When you look at this whole parcel, you know, it would be an incredible opportunity for something big to happen here once again.
Well, it's great seeing this complex. It really is an important one, but I know there are other things on the endangered buildings list, so shall we take a look at some of the others?
Let's go do it.
All right, back to the car. So Becky, we're in Marble Cliff, right at the edge of Upper Arlington, northwest of downtown Columbus. What are we going to see?
We're going to see the 1907 William Landman Marble Cliff Mansion. It was designed by Frank Packard for Landman, who was the owner, creator of Columbus Bolt Company.
Aha. And so he was an industrialist.
He was.
And built a house to sort of reflect the stature of his position in sort of the economy and society. Would you say that?
Absolutely. And then in 1935, another Columbus notable, William Billy Ingram, moved to Columbus to bring his company, White Castle, here to the area. And he lived in the house beginning in 1935.
So everybody knows White Castle. That is quite a house.
Isn't it?
So tell me why this building is endangered. It looks like it's in pretty good shape.
Well, it is in good shape. And the building is on our endangered list because a redevelopment proposal was presented to Marble Cliff Village that called for demolition of the building to make way for a new apartment building.
So again, it's a case of nobody's looking at the building, they're looking at land.
They were. However, fortunately, there was a very robust community dialogue led by the mayor of Marble Cliff and their village council, and many of the residents came together and they gave the development team some feedback. And fortunately, that development team has went back to the drawing board and came forth with a new proposal that actually may potentially reuse the mansion as part of their redevelopment of the whole site.
The community decided the building's important to them, to the community. The developer decided, you know, these people are really serious about this, why don't we talk? So you've got to give credit to both sides.
Absolutely.
One for taking action, the other for showing flexibility.
Absolutely.
And finding a solution that really works for everybody. Would you say everybody seems to be pretty happy with the solution?
We are very happy with the solution, but it remains to be seen. It's a conversation.
Well, thanks so much. It's been great seeing these buildings, learning about the endangered buildings list, learning about where we are on these various projects. So I look forward to future success and good luck with Landmarks.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Now, since we aired that story, there's been some activity surrounding a few of those buildings. Here's Jeff Darby checking back in with Becky West.
Becky, tell me what's happening with the endangered buildings list.
We first stopped at the Holy Rosary campus on Main Street. That building is actively listed with a commercial real estate representative, and it is available for sale. And they are willing to sell it as an entire parcel that would include the church, the school, and the other rectory building. or perhaps to parcel those and sell them individually. We also went over to Marble Cliff, where we visited the Marble Cliff Mansion, and the developer who was interested in that site did get a plan approved by the Marble Cliff Village Council that will reuse the mansion within a new development with some additional housing on the site. We are just really excited about that one.
Well, my thanks to Landmarks and to you for keeping this going, for having such a powerful preservation tool, and for coming out and updating us.
Jeff, thank you so much for your help in promoting the list.
Thanks for being with us, and remember you can catch all our episodes on columbusneighborhoods.org. Plus, see our stories on the WOSU mobile app. And you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll see you back here next week on Columbus Neighborhoods.
We made a mistake, one I was proud to say I made, and you were afraid that it would never go your way. The summer was cold and we just weren't allowed indoors. The bottles were full and
Support for Columbus Neighborhoods is provided by American Electric Power is proud to sponsor WOSU Public Media Columbus Neighborhoods. Working together with our communities, we're committed to powering a bright, boundless future for us all.
At Ohio Health, we believe it's important to have a healthy understanding of the world around you. That's why we're proud sponsors of WOSU Public Media and their work to educate, entertain, and inspire the people we serve.
Bailey Cavalieri, your relationship with your law firm doesn't need to be complicated, it just needs to be right. And by viewers like you. Thank you.